You know, every business out there is sitting on a gold mine of customer information. But here's the real question. Is that information actually working for you? We're about to dive into a system designed to do just one thing. Turn that data into real, measurable business growth. Let's see how it works.
Okay, let's start with a number that might actually shock you. 20 to 30%. What is that? Well, that's how many customers the average small business loses every single year. It's a silent profit killer, a constant drain that most businesses don't even have a system in place to prevent.
Right, so let's talk about the customer leaky bucket. I want you to picture this. You're working so hard, right? Pouring all this effort into filling a bucket with new customers. But all the while, there's this steady stream just trickling out the bottom. That's customer churn. And you know it costs 5 to 7 times more to get a new customer than to just keep the ones you've already got.
So why? Why does this keep happening to so many businesses? Well, a lot of the time it comes down to the tools we're using. Or maybe the tools we're not using. Let's dig into why the old ways are failing us.
All right, let's talk about old tools. First up, the classic paper punch card. Come on, we've all had them, right? Stuffed in our wallets. But what happens? They get lost, they go through the wash, they get forgotten, and the stats are just staggering. A full 40% of them are never even redeemed. Now compare that to a digital system like Super User Manager. The redemption rate skyrockets to 78%. Why? Simple. The card lives on the customer's phone. It's impossible to lose.
Okay, so maybe you've moved past paper. That's great, but where did you land? For so many, it's a place I like to call spreadsheet hell. You know exactly what I'm talking about, don't you? It's just this chaotic mess of manual data entry, endless columns, and you're always hunting for errors. It takes forever, you can't scale it, and there's zero automation. It's not a database, it's more like a data jail.
Then you've got the other extreme, these massive enterprise-level software systems. And yeah, they're powerful, for sure, but they're also incredibly expensive. We're talking $2, $3, $4, even $500 a month. And they take weeks to set up, you need a tech wizard to run them, and they're just loaded with features a small business will never, ever use. It's total overkill. Some just flips that whole model on its head. You can get set up in about 3 minutes, and you can even start for free.
Okay, so let's recap. If paper is basically obsolete, spreadsheets are total chaos, and the big enterprise software is just overkill, what's the answer? It's about building a central hub for your business. This is the foundation for real, sustainable growth. Let's take a look at what that actually means. So, at the very heart of Super User Manager is this idea, a centralized repository. What's that? It's just a single, organized, and super secure place for literally everything you need to know about your customers. And listen, this isn't just some glorified list of names. Think of it as the command center for your entire customer strategy. It's the foundation that everything else is built on.
You know, this quote really nails it. Using SUM is like going from an old-school manual cash register and a paper ledger to a modern, smart point-of-sale system. I mean, think about it. A paper ledger kind of works when you have 10 customers. But 50? 100? You start losing track. SUM just automates that whole process, grabbing data instantly and giving you the smarts to actually do something with it.
But how exactly does having a central hub create growth? It's not some kind of magic wand. It's actually a really simple but incredibly powerful 3-step process that turns all that raw data into loyal, happy, paying customers.
And here it is. This is the growth engine. It's 3 simple words: collect, organize, and engage. That's it. First, you gather all that valuable customer info, but you do it effortlessly. Then, the system does the heavy lifting and intelligently organizes it for you. And finally, you use that perfectly organized data to engage with your customers, a lot of the time on autopilot. Let's break down each one of those steps. All right, step 1, collect. The most important word here is effortlessly. We have to remove all the friction. Customers can scan a QR code and be signed up in like 10 seconds. And the best part? No app to download. You can also share links on social media or even just bulk import from those old spreadsheets we talked about. It's all about getting that priceless data into your hub without making anyone jump through hoops.
Step 2, organize. So once that data is flowing in, some gets to work organizing it intelligently. This is where the magic starts to happen. You can instantly see who your VIPs are and, just as importantly, who might be at risk of leaving. You can create these cool smart groups, like a birthday club, or add those little personal notes, you know, like prefers almond milk, the details that make customers feel like you actually know them.
And that brings us to step 3, engage. This is where all that beautifully organized data becomes your superpower.
You can set up an automatic welcome message for new folks. You can re-engage someone who hasn't been in for a while with a special offer. You can send out birthday rewards without even thinking about it. You're basically putting your entire customer retention strategy on autopilot.
Okay, so collect, organize, engage. It all sounds great, right? But what about the results? Let's talk about the real-world impact this has on the bottom line. Let's go from data to actual dollars.
Let's look at a real business, Cafe Luna. After they started using Sum, they saw a 40%, that's a huge 40% increase in repeat customers. And that was in just 3 months. We're not talking about a little bump here. This is a fundamental change in their business, and it's all powered by better customer engagement.
And the big question, what about the return on investment, the ROI? How about 586%? No, that's not a typo. That is the actual real-world ROI achieved by Mitchell's Hardware. They invested in the system, and they got a nearly 6-fold return. How? By turning the customers they already had into a predictable, reliable source of revenue.
And what's so cool is that this isn't just for one type of business. The system is super flexible. Look at this. A fitness studio used it and cut their member churn by 42%. A real estate agent tripled their follow-up rate using digital business cards. A retail shop, they made over $4,000 in a single day with a targeted sale. See, it adapts to your business, not the other way around.
So why is all this so important? Well, check this out. A study from Harvard Business School found that if you can increase your customer retention by just 5%, a tiny 5%, you can boost your profits by anywhere from 25 to a whopping 95%. Think about that. The simple act of keeping the customers you already have is one of the most powerful things you can do for growth. And that really brings us to one last, simple question for you to think about. For any business, yours included, your customer data is your single biggest, most valuable asset. So, are you really using it to grow?